Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Reverse 1999 reaction. Today we have The Doors as requested by Soilwork in the comments of the last video. And to reference the comments from the last video, I feel like a lot of people kind of misunderstood what I said with the melody on the trigger reaction. It's not that I think everyone did. A lot of you did like understand what I was getting at, but I didn't want to make it sound like I hated the song because I really didn't. I thought it was beautiful. I almost exclusively thought that the use of what felt like a fake harmonica sample wasn't the best decision. That's more or less the long and short of my critique on it. The rest of it I really enjoyed. I feel like a lot of people just thought that I hated it because I said that, but I always give my proper opinion on here. I don't hide my real opinions. I don't try to sugarcoat it, because if I've got an opinion and something I want to say, I'll always do that, because it's more insulting to you for me to act like I love something when I really don't. And when there's something that feels off, I mentioned it like that. Everything else in that song was beautiful. It was just kind of a little out of place. But I'll digress on that. I just wanted to make sure that everybody understood that I'm not saying I hated the song, because I really didn't. It was just that one execution factor that made me kind of iffy on it. But the rest of it was gorgeous, and I just want to make sure that was clear. Either way, today we have The Doors, and I'm going to be listening to this. So I guess without further ado, let's go. Oh, okay. A little bit of opera already.
Glass vessel is clear and hollow. What's in the bottle? Gentle breeze blow. The doors are pressing me one by
That tense and tragic sound already. Like, oh, literally, that's everything so far. Not even a hint of hope.
The doors are pressing me one by one, all the ways that I can shun. In this void I hide my madness behind the door.
Beautiful vocal tone. I mean, shocker, right? Ooh. I love this interlude. That's brilliant. Ooh.
Where do doors lead? Behind doors you see.
Again, nothing. I feel like this whole song is just going to be this mood.
Princess and the king.
Tension rising.
The doors are pressing me one by one, locking in the endless trap.
But even the vocal line doesn't have any resolution. Oh, there was one. Okay. Not much of one. See, that one didn't. It stayed on that high note. Oh, was that it? Oh my God, it was that short? Good Lord. That was just tragedy all the way through. Are you kidding me? All right, for one, I did not expect this song to be so short. I did not look at the runtime before I started listening to it. I was hoping for so much more on that. This evolution was like sitting there wanting to happen, and the song didn't let that happen, which in the case of the story it's trying to tell does make a lot of sense. By the time I was done actually listening to it, I was like, oh, well, yeah, they don't want the character to feel any sort of like escapism or release on there. It's not designed for that. This character is truly a tragic character, somebody who's not allowed allowed to leave that cyclical energy this song has. The key this one's written in is easily B minor, one of the most melancholic keys of all time. Like, if you need to write a song about a character that is tragic in every way, there is no hope to be found at all, you want them to be sad exclusively, this is the key to write in my opinion. There are a lot of other keys that hit different sort of emotional beats. This key every single time hits that like sweet spot for sounding tragic and having no out at all. So I see why they wrote it like this. But then there's also things they were doing in here that challenge that key a lot. There was a lot of chromatic movement, a lot of half steps up and down throughout this entire thing that add to that cyclical thing, that feeling that you're stuck in this cycle, unable to leave. These moments that don't really fit within the key, but also feel so right. And even when there are moments that are within the key, it still has that cyclical lock where like things go down, but they don't resolve anywhere. Like the time where she said sigh, and it starts from an F sharp and it goes down to a C sharp. It uses the E and the D between there to add that chromatic shift downward. That's just the it just fucking settles in there. And it's like, whoa, like you're not allowed to leave. And that's what sucks. There's no resolve there at the bottom. It just chromatically falls down that staircase. And that happens a lot in this song. There are multiple times in this track where that exact relationship happens and you're not allowed to leave. And it's just like, okay, I want to resolve. The natural human condition is to hear a resolution. It feels satisfying to us. So when songs like this are written and they don't give you that, it's frustrating, but also you can empathize with it because the song already sounds so melancholic given the key it was written in. There's just no safe way out. And it's really frustrating, but at the same time, beautiful musicianship, gorgeous storytelling through just the sound, the vocalist, brilliant work here. There's another part in that too that does the same thing. The one by one by one by one, like it says it 3 times. I think I said it 4 there, but you get what I mean. Like that section, the way that she steps down is a half step down each time she says it. And again, it lands on a note that's not a final note. It's not a resolved note. You're sitting here just like, please stop. It also does not help that when she does it, she shifts from like singing it to almost speaking it. It kind of steps back up like she's talking now. And it's just like that one moment, it kind of jostles the meaning of the song and the feeling. It's no longer singing. It's breaking this bridge between a song and somebody actually telling you something. There's this psychological break in the music where she's trying to like break free of the monotony of singing this, and she can't because the song pulls her back in. And that is so tragic. Like this entire song, like I said, tragic 100% of the way through, and it's a scary level of it. And there's this other cool part, that whole piano interlude that I was talking about that I got really hyped about because it did something really neat that added a whole nother layer to the song. Like when we got that sigh run, that, right? Like as I said, that's the F sharp to the C sharp, the D and the E between. But then during that interlude, there's this one note that sticks out. What note is that? The F. The note that shouldn't belong. That if you were to take a chromatic fall down, would be right in there. But if you get rid of that, it's... You see the difference there? Like, this should not exist in this song at all. And the rest of this interlude largely falls within the right key. They're playing the right notes, and it almost feels like it's an accident, like something a jazz player would do and be like, oh, that was intentional. Jazz doesn't have any right notes. As we all know, that's a thing in jazz. You play whatever you want, you let your heart spill out, and it will work out. However, in this one, in a song and in a style that's so refined and supposed to be classy, and something that has a lot of thought and emotion behind it, something that is supposed to have this structure, and then we get this like angry interlude that is largely not played pretty or refined. It is stumbling around a little bit. It sounds tumultuous, it's angry, it's confused, and then we get that one note in there that's not supposed to be in the key at all. And that's what makes this song wake up for me, because it is so obvious. Like, if this was an accident, they would have removed that. They would have minimized it. They would have re-recorded it. So this has to be important for whatever reason. I'm not sure why they would include specifically that. Maybe it's because it's that one missing note of that fall down. But maybe not. I don't know. That's one of those things where I'd have to get inside the composer's head to be able to understand why that specific decision was made. But my running theory there is it's the wrong thing. It is something that is obviously out of place, and maybe it's supposed to reference the character themselves. I obviously don't know these characters, and I don't know how accurate that may or may not be, but it would be really neat if that was the reason. Like, to have this one standout note that is literally not supposed to be in the key, because that's the character, or it's because it's the situation that is so off kilter that it almost feels like maybe it's supposed to be there. Maybe. You never really second guess it either. Like, it never does that again. It just kind of settles in with that during that one interlude, and that's it. The rest of the song plays through as you would expect. We do get the 1x1 section after that, so it's like you do get that uncomfortable feeling, those continuations of those chromatic step downs. So this whole song never avoids being awkward and feeling very, pressured in the worst possible way. There is tension all the way through here, but to include that F is diabolical. I don't know why they would do that, but my theories are only theories, because in that there's at least these relationships, but if you add this in here, it's just crunchy, and it doesn't really fit in that relationship at all. So it's just like, ooh, what could that mean? I love it when they do this sort of thing. But like I said, I've got no actual idea, but this song is gorgeous. I mean, the best way to describe it is tragic, and I think that's entirely what they were going for here. There's really no other obvious reason they would go this hard on this emotion. They never give you really any real resolution. There's once in a while a note that does land that's a little bit more proud and I wouldn't say profound maybe, but just it feels confident in itself. But at the same time, the song never really gives you an answer either. You're always left hanging. You're always left with that note that climbs up and then just sits up there, and you never get to feel how it feels to settle back in at the end of the song. It never allows for that truly, even through the end of the track. So this is a really cool one, and it obviously clues in a lot to the character, especially with the lyrics talking about the doors and things, again, that cyclical emotion in the lyrics too. So like, that's got to be something with this character. Obviously by now I know that Reverse 1999 is kind of about time travel, and I've learned some of the lore through that and through comments, but I don't know how exactly direct that would be for any specific character, or the why they would be there, or what their personal stories are. A lot of that is largely not stuff I've dug into, so I don't really know, especially with this character. So I'm just left guessing, I suppose. But this was a really beautiful song, designed in the best possible way to be the worst possible way, and that's just gorgeous in its own right. Very well done. But I think I've yapped enough today, so thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to request something else from Reverse, by all means drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if you don't want to do that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!